News 8 at 5:30.
Welcome back. Now that the election is over, legislators are turning once again to the issue of a pay raise.
A legislative pay commission was approved in last year's state budget, but the commission waited to hold its first meeting until today. Capitol correspondent Morgan Mackay explains how much state lawmakers currently are making and why this is important to them.
Legislators in New York have not received a pay raise for 20 years, but the base salary for both the governor and legislators are still the third highest in the country. The base salary for lawmakers is $79,500, which was set in 1998. However, lawmakers receive an additional stipend for every time they travel to and from Albany and when they have a leadership role in a committee.
Basically, everyone in the Senate is eligible for these additional stipends, and the majority of the Assembly as well. And those stipends can range anywhere from $9,000 a year at a low to $41,500 a year.
But still, if you compare this amount legislators are making to how much members of Congress are making, which is around $174,000 a year, it's still substantially lower.
If they're going to get an increase, it should be looked in the context of what's the reasonable way to pay people.
The former state comptroller, Carl McCall, current state comptroller, Tom DiNapoli, city comptroller, Scott Stringer, and CUNY board chairman, Bill Thompson, were all appointed to be part of this year's pay commission. This has brought on a lot of criticism by those who believe a pay raise for legislators should be looked at independently.
When we talk about independent, we think about people who don't have political skin in the game and the outcome. And when we envision that, we don't envision elected officials that rely on the political parties for their support.
Also, it's supposed to be an open process, but the state comptroller's office did not return any calls regarding the meeting in New York City today.
They haven't had an open process to date. We'll see what happens now that the election's over.
Any deal on a finalized pay increase would have to be approved by December 31st, since lawmakers are not allowed to give themselves pay raises during their next two-year term. Reporting from the Capitol, I'm Morgan Mackay.
Morgan.